No. So you talked a little bit earlier about how it was tough for you to get started, and then your
Mhm.
family bought you the DSL camera, and that kind of gave you a push to get started. I was just
Yeah.
wondering if you had any advice for any women out there who are in a similar situation as you were and
Mhm.
don't know, you know, which direction to go or just can't find the motivation to get started.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is figure out what your style is first, because the one that was one thing that was kind of like tricky getting started because it's like I don't want to be copying anyone else's style and like trying to recreate someone else's thing. I just want to do what feels authentic to me because the one thing people can always tell is when you're being authentic and they will call you out for it, you know? So the one thing is just like figure out what your style is, stay authentic to that. And no matter what, just kind of do what you can to be consistent with your content. For me, the one thing I do regret was how hard I was on myself with my content, being like, it's not good enough. It doesn't match what else I'm seeing. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. But really, and everyone else was like, this is good. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So it's easy to talk yourself out of it when you're getting started because you don't see that it matches up to other people's content. But we forget that people started off there,
Yeah.
they started off there and they built it up. You know what I mean? So you just have to just get started, do what you can to get started. Don't be afraid. And the one thing the one advice I also want to give people is while getting started, it can be easy for people to put a price on your content. And a lot of companies can put a price on your content, but if it doesn't feel authentic to you, then don't do it. You know what I mean? Make sure you're promoting things that actually represent your brand and you're not just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's easy for companies to be like, I'll give you $50. Even when I got started, I didn't have a lot of followers, and companies were like, I'll give you $50 to advertise this. And I'm like, oh, they already paid me, and I don't even have a lot of followers, right? And for me, I always research the company. So then you go research the company and you see what they represent. It's not anything good, which is why they're so quick to pay you for it, right?
Makes sense.
So always do your fact check, always check and make sure who you're working with. No matter how small you think you are, your influence still matters, which is why companies reach out to a lot of influencers. So that's the advice that I want to give people. Don't be afraid to just get started. Don't be afraid of what you think your content quality is like. Just put it out there and then watch people's feedback from that and then grow from that. But that doesn't mean you have to take uh, rude criticism, okay? But just take advice from people's content and watch how you could be better and go from there. And don't let anyone put a price on your content and your creativity and your work. Don't let anyone put a price on that. It's your platform. That's the one thing people forget, especially as they get bigger. It's still your platform, and you're responsible for whatever you put on there. So